All right, welcome folks. We are the FitHealth Pros. This is our Nutrition 101 series. Today we're going to talk facts about fats.
Yes.
Or just the fats, ma'am.
Love it.
Welcome. This is part of our macro and micronutrient facts. We, again, are the FitHealth Pros. I am Coach Sean.
I'm Dr. Kevin.
And welcome to this part of the journey of Nutrition 101. So in this talk about macro and micronutrients, we've given a basic rundown of proteins, carbs, fats, which is today, vitamins and minerals. So you might want to check out some of those other videos as well, just to kind of get a feel for an overall on nutrition. Today, the good, the bad, the ugly
Yes.
of fats.
Of fats. Let's start out with the basics. So fats are a source of essential fatty acids that are not made in the body. So that's important to know. It definitely helps the body absorb fat-soluble vitamins, and those are going to be your vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E. So you have to have a certain amount of fats in your body for those vitamins to get processed to the cell. The other thing with fats is they're very high in energy, all right?
Yeah. Turbo.
Yep, turbo. So from a calorie standpoint, you get 9 kilocalories per gram from fats versus 4 kilocalories per gram for proteins and carbs.
Wow, more than double.
Yeah, so if you are needing energy, fats are good. Mm-hmm. If you are looking at a calorie kind of deficient diet or how much calories you're eating per day,
you can boost some good fats.
Right, but you don't want to have too many because real quick you can raise that
You can raise your calorie count.
Raise that calorie count.
Yeah.
But the other thing is healthy fats protect the organs. It keeps your blood pressure and cholesterol under control. So it is regulating there, and it supports your cell growth. So it is definitely needed for that overall body function.
Very good.
That's important.
Very important.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk first about the good. Because fats have been demonized over the years so often for being bad. Well, you know what? There's quite a bit of good in unsaturated fats. So unsaturated fats reduce the risk of heart disease. They lower that LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol, which can cause plaque in the arteries, etc., really endanger the heart. Unsaturated fats promote brain health. So the brain actually feeds on these good fats. It can also lower the risk of Alzheimer's disease, which has been shown in multiple studies, which is huge because we're seeing more and more cases of Alzheimer's over the last, say, couple of decades. Now, one study in particular showed people over many years who increased their amounts of unsaturated fats compared to other people in the population. Their cognitive function was shown to be 7 years younger than those who didn't increase their unsaturated fats.
Yeah,
those
healthy fats are amazing.
Yeah. That's what the brain utilizes for higher function. Now, you're mostly going to get these unsaturated fats in oils from plants and fish, but they do provide those essential fatty acids that the body cannot get otherwise. So you're bringing them in through your nutrition.
Yeah, that's great. Definitely, I think we've been through that kind of decades where we decreased fat so much that I think that there's a generation, at least one, if not two, that have been affected long term because of that.
Yeah.
So let's go some more good. So monounsaturated fats, a little different than the regular. So these are monounsaturated fats. They're going to maintain good levels of HDL cholesterol. So we had the LDL and the HDL. How do you know how we remember what's good and what's bad?
HDL good.
Yeah.
LDL bad.
So
high and low.
Right. High and low. I always remembered it too. Happy cholesterol.
Happy cholesterol.
Okay.
It's good. H is for happy.
H is for happy. All right. So
I like that.
Maybe a little tidbit that's how I always remember it. So
cool.
We're looking for the HDLs as the good ones. So that's what monounsaturated fats do. They're going to maintain that level. They're going to take an overabundance of cholesterol in the body to the liver for disposal as well.
Yeah, that's
So
huge.
very important to get rid of that cholesterol that's bad. It also lowers the bad cholesterol, so that's good, and that's what causes the LDL is that plaquing of the arteries.
Right.
The body has this natural kind of protective mechanism that plaques those arteries, and that LDL cholesterol is that agent. So that does protect the heart if we can lower that as much as we can.
Nice.
So we're going to find the monounsaturated fats. Here's where you want to find this. Olive oil, peanuts, almonds, avocados, pumpkin seeds, things like that. Now there's a big list, so we included that down below as well. So check that out. What else we got?
Well, from monounsaturated fats, we're going to go into the next category, which is polyunsaturated fats.
All right.
Now, these also help lower LDL cholesterol, the bad stuff. You're going to generally, the ones that are very popular are going to be the omega-6, which you find in like corn and sunflower, some nuts. Now, the recommended daily allowance of omega-6s are generally going to be provided in your daily nutrition. You're not necessarily going to have to go into supplementation of omega-6s. Now, the ones you may need to supplement are omega-3 fatty acids. Now, these are found in oily fish, your trout, your sardines, your salmon, fish like that. But they're also found in some plant sources as well.
Right.
But the danger, not necessarily danger, but the difficulty in getting your omega-3s from plant sources is that it's less bioavailable due to the breakdown of ALA, which is alpha-linolenic acid. That has to be further broken down into the fatty acids, into the omega-3s. So for greater bioavailability, you'd want to go into those oily fish. You know, if you can. If you're a vegan, then you know there are workarounds, etc., that you can utilize as well. It's recommended you get 2 fish portions a week. One of those being oily fish. Now, if you do have an increase in omega-6s and don't have enough omega-3s, that can actually cause inflammation throughout the body. So, again, you don't necessarily need that extra supplementation of omega-6s. If you do that, that could raise those omega-6s in the body. You're not getting enough omega-3s, inflammatory response happens. So,
Yeah.
need to be able to...
Be careful with that, because I think if you think about your diet, you know, we're just kind of spilling out facts here, but let's think about this in real life terms. You think about your diet, how much grains are you putting in? Because we're talking about corn, sunflower, nuts, wheat's probably in there too somewhere. You know,
right.
Whether it's whole wheat or...
Additional grains.
Yeah, so those grains, I know in the Southwest, we have a lot of corn in our diet, between corn tortillas and chips and things like that.
Sure.
So look at that, and you're going to get plenty of the 6s. If you feel that you're eating a lot of that, then you definitely need to supplement the 3s.
Right.
So that's important.
Got to counteract it to a certain degree. Now, if you are raising these unsaturated fats, and you are lowering what we're going to talk about next, which is the bad stuff, the saturated fats, it has been shown to lower disease risk. So again, you got to really focus on what's going into your body and what it is. And that's kind of what this Nutrition 101 is all about. We're giving you facts so that you can hopefully implement it into your lifestyle.
Yes. All right, guys, here we go. We're starting with the bad.
The bad.
Okay, so a lot of people know about the worst fats out there. These are called saturated fats. So this isn't the worst one, but when we started doing this research, we found that, yeah, this can cause some risks for health conditions and problems. And that's where you want to think overall is, what's my overall goal in life? Is it just to get rid of fat so I can lose weight? Is it you know, to be healthier?
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, the premise here is if you're looking to lose weight, get healthy first, then you will lose the weight.
The weight's going to come off over
Yeah.
time.
A lot of people think, well, I'll lose the weight and then I'll be healthy. And then they use every tactic and way
fad diet.
to lose that. So just be
Yeah.
careful. We've talked pretty extensively about fad diets. We have a video on fad diets, so check that out as well. Here we go. Saturated fats, increased risk of cardiovascular disease and stroke. So a big one in the country, right?
Huge.
Huge. Raises those LDL cholesterol levels. So once again, here we are, we're talking about HDL versus LDL. We want high, happy cholesterol and low LDLs. Found in many foods. So saturated fats, mostly animal products. So this is where the vegans come in, and they're going to make their argument right there.
Yeah.
You can find saturated fats in some plant-based situations. This one I didn't know about. Maybe I did. I think about that, but a lot of times you take the good with the bad.
Right.
Research this. We're not going to go deep and dive, but coconut oil is 82% saturated fat.
Right. And
Now-
it's really been trumpeted as the healthy oil
Right.
for the last decade or so.
Right.
You know,
So if you're using
there are healthier.
coconut oil as your filler, as your fat, as your healthy fat, look at that. Make sure that's not higher than 50% probably.
Yeah.
Try to, if you're going to use some coconut oil, maybe down in the 25, even 10% range. Let's look at other things. We're going to do a deeper, I'm not going to say we're going to do a deeper dive video just yet,
Yeah.
but Sean and I will look into this.
Yeah.
Because that's piquing my curiosity.
It's huge. It's huge from what is being thrown into the education of the country versus actuality.
Right. Is this fake news?
It might be.
It might be. All right, what else is not fake news? Saturated fats are from fatty meats. We know that. That
Yeah.
is a fact.
Yes.
Ice cream. All right, sorry.
So
guys.
basically, we're going to go through all the good stuff.
I'm gonna go through
all the happy foods.
Here's a list. Sorry if your mouth salivates or you think of comfort. Pastries, right? Cheeses,
Croissant.
butter.
Ah.
All right. Processed and fast foods. Okay.
Well,
Hey,
there we go.
we're all right with that. We can get rid of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully you're on board with getting rid of the processed and the fast foods. They are also, you toss in, calories
Right.
and
Going to get a major boost in calories in those anyways.
and sodium,
Yeah.
which is not good. But we're talking, calorie count. Remember we talked about the calories and how much fats have. Here's the deal with saturated fats. We want the recommended daily allowance. This is what the government says. Men should have less than 30 grams a day. Women less than 20 grams a day, and children even less.
So really pay attention with children especially, because they're not going to necessarily show outward signs of packing on extra weight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fast food is fast. It's not nutritious. So oftentimes our lives are very hectic and we just go grab a Happy Meal or something else for these kids. Well, as you can see with the saturated fats, it's not good for the kids.
Right.
It's really not good for the kids. There are healthier options.
And we'll even amplify that message when we get into the next thing that's the ugly.
Yeah.
Okay. Not lowering saturated fats can negate the positive effects of the good fats.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me say that again a different way. If you're doing everything right and you go, hey guys, I got this. I'm lowering those bad things. I don't do fast foods, but every once in a while I'll have ice cream or whatever. You can't say, well, just because it's a fat, this is okay. It'll negate that. It'll
Right.
negate all the good stuff you're doing. So,
Right. If you're eating oily fish and good plants, et cetera, but you binge on ice cream
Yeah.
and you substantiate that binging,
Yeah.
it doesn't work. It doesn't work for the body. The body is a system that needs to be running clean.
Right. So also, if you're a keto person, look at that, because that I know that, I've looked at that myself personally, and there's a lot of dietary situations that say have the fatty meat, put a dab of butter on there. So again, that's something that we're going to look into. We're going to talk to our colleagues that specialize in that. There's some big time docs on YouTube that profess that not to be true. So here's the science. This is what the science is saying. Let's see what the body hack is saying and how does it work out in the long run. So we're not saying one's bad or otherwise. We're just telling you, here's what saturated fats are and how they fit in the realm of all the fats, and then you can put that information together. But we do know that it increases that unhealthy risks.
Yeah. Over
So
time.
you have to weigh that out. Yeah, can that extra fat cause you to lose fat? It can, but you could do it in an unhealthy way too, so be careful there.
Sure. If you're going to do it all the way.
Yes.
It's a lifestyle change, not something just to be dabbled in.
Right.
So after we went through the good, which are the unsaturated fats, the bad, which are the saturated fats, now we get to the ugly. Now the ugly is pretty much not that controversial. It absolutely is just bad stuff. Now these are the trans fats and the hydrogenated oils. Now these increase the risk of heart disease. They raise that LDL cholesterol. Now they are naturally occurring in low levels in meats and dairy. So as long as you are kind of minding your portions of your meats and dairy, not going to be that big of a deal. That's naturally occurring. The body will flush it and get it out of the system. Now, the number one danger here is hydrogenated oils. Now, hydrogenated oils are oils where hydrogen is added to the oil to make it more solid or spreadable. They do this in order to prolong shelf life for these foods. And also it can maintain flavor stability over time. So that means they can be on the shelf for weeks.
Right.
Which is not necessarily a good thing. Again, snacks for on the go, oftentimes you'll grab something that's prepackaged and it can actually stay in your car for a long time before it breaks down. These are activated through heating and frying. So you're taking some of these hydrogenated oils and you're cooking with it,
Right.
and all of a sudden you've got almost a chemical plastic going into your body. Margarine.
The body just doesn't know what to do with that.
It doesn't know what to do with it. It doesn't, so it just stores it, and you have this unhealthy storage going on throughout your body, and it's not being used, and it can end up poisoning you in the long run. Margarine, French fries, this is interesting. Soup powders have a lot of trans fats in it. Sweet and snack products, which we were just talking about. It's like there are videos on YouTube with, say, a piece of bread versus a Twinkie.
Oh, the Twinkie.
The Twinkie test.
The Twinkie.
Right? So over time, the bread molds over, goes away. The Twinkie is still there. For years.
For years.
For years, all right? So it can make a great doorstop. It's not necessarily the best thing to put into your body. So when you're looking for these trans fats, look for hydrogenated oil near the first few items on a food's ingredients list. And that will kind of give you a better feeling for, I don't need to put that into my body.
Right.
Yeah,
just avoid that. If it's a food that is wrapped in a wrapper and it's on a shelf and it's got dairy, it's probably hydrogenated.
It's probably not from the happy cow down the street.
No.
That trans fats are just bad news.
Yeah.
Bad news.
So hopefully we're all kind of realizing that and moving on.
To fresher foods.
Yeah.
Healthier, fair.
They got real cheap. That was another problem. It's cheap food. Dollar store cookies, dollar store Twinkies, dollar store.
They can last forever. I mean, that's you don't need the the processing within the industry,
Right.
you make them once and they can be there for a long time.
Right. So yeah, avoid those. The soup one kind of stood out to me.
Yeah,
So
I thought that was interesting.
If you're buying and you're going, oh, okay, it's on the shelf. I can just put some hot water in it. I know it's convenient. I know it's cheap, but
I mean, soup. How bad could soup be, right?
yeah, be careful with that. So look for the healthy ones too. And yeah,
Boom.
be careful. Be careful.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Right. So that's it. That was facts about fats. Again, part of our Nutrition 101 series.
Yeah.
That was a lot of information.
Yeah. This is probably a long video. We haven't tested the time yet.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. We made it fun. We'll go in and kind of split this up a little bit and answer any questions that you may have. We welcome your comments.
Yes.
Definitely give those to us. If you got good information from this, definitely like and subscribe to the channel because we have more
Ring the
for
bell.
you. They're not all going to be this long. This
Right.
is part of kind of our basic,
foundation series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you are learning, if you're in the healthcare profession, if you care about your own body, if you're looking to learn because of your kids or your parents, or you just want to better yourself from a dietary standpoint, here's the basics. So hopefully you got a bunch from it, and we enjoyed giving it to you.
Yes, indeed.
We're the Fit Health Pros. I'm Dr. Kevin,
I'm Coach Sean.
and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for coming along for the ride.
Bye, guys.
It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford. All right. I guess I got energy.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah!